Good morning. August 10th. Coffee with the kid. Cheers, Riley. We'll start this one off with son of a bish. Each day is one day closer to the worst day of my life. 5 years ago. And definitely in a better place this year than I have been in previous years, especially the last two. The first three, I think I was so busy and engaged with so many people. And Cami with the US 13, the hats that we have, and the events that she put on, one in Austin, Texas, one in Jackson. Being engaged with people and surrounded by great people, and always with my girls, lessened the pain a little bit, and some of the other families for sure, lessened the pain a little bit of what's coming up. Last two have been a little bit more difficult. Last year I think was the first year that the girls and I hadn't been together, and we will not be together again this year. But my mind is in a completely different spot, and I might actually jump on and do a podcast about that as I was doing some reflection. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today: personal stuff, me stuff, political stuff. We're in the last week and a day of the primary season, so I'm going to touch on a few things that I've read, and some confusion, and some people reaching out to me. Hey, can you explain this to me a little bit better? Because here's what I'm hearing, but that doesn't make sense, or I don't understand this. Can you dummy this down for me and put it in simple terms? And I will do the best I can to kind of clarify some of that stuff. And by all means, if I don't give you the answer that you're looking for, or you're still left uncertain, reach out to the candidates themselves. Don't just reach out to one. Reach out to several, get their opinions, get their take on things. There's a lot of bloviating, really, that you can't just listen to the person sharing information without not necessarily fact checking, but cross-referencing and getting some more information. We'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, I've been thinking about this all weekend down at the cabin. Got a lot of stuff done. I was there for a short period. I had to stay here till Friday to help Royce out. Left Friday afternoon, came back late yesterday afternoon. Let's see, got laundry room cabinets brought in, installed, washer and dryer in. The hookups are there, but I don't have the water yet, but it looks good to have them in there. Just systematically, slowly getting stuff done. And Royce and I moved a bunch of stuff from this storage unit, and we have another one in Pinedale. And the more stuff I get out of here, put into the cabin or put into my house, frees up another storage unit. I gotta quit paying for things and just letting them sit. But you got to have a place for your stuff. But we're almost to the point now where we can consolidate a bunch of stuff into one unit, get rid of one, and then I'll have two. And man, hopefully by fall, I'm down to one. We'll probably have to have one for quite a while. We've got stuff that neither Royce and I can put in the house right now, or whatever, but can't quite get rid of yet. You always need extra storage space, whatever. Good grief. Yeah, we're getting closer to the 26th. 5 years. And Gigi posted in a little family chat today pictures of Levi and her first day of school. It does not seem possible. That it can't be. And she was so cute. Gigi said she was so excited to go, she forgot to say goodbye. She just took off. So So cute. Monumental moment, but holy hell. It's another one. It's such a happy moment and so sad at the same time. And it is a constant battle. All my Facebook memories and stuff that pop up, more pictures and posts, and we've got the hikes coming up, and Royce is training for a half marathon. She's going to do 13 miles in honor of all 13 kids. I'm going to gear up and start doing that as well. I'll do 1.3 miles every day for each kid, and then on the 26th I've got something special that I'm going to do. It is a roller coaster of emotions for sure. I'm good. I'm in a way better place than I was. This group that I go to on Mondays, been reflecting and dissecting that as well. Dealing with the anxiety and PTSD and depression and all those pieces that were slowly just eroding me. That is still there, and I know it's still there, and driving, and I get in my thoughts or down at the cabin, and it's just me and the dog, so I have plenty of time to think. The thoughts are there, the emotions are still there, but I'm better equipped to process it, deal with it, breathe. Just certain little techniques and things that I've already known, but just I forgot about them or I could not get myself to implement anything to get me out of that funk. So no, it's all good. These videos and my podcast and being excited to do the podcast this last go around have definitely helped. It's a way for me to purge and it's almost like I'm sitting with a bunch of people and just having the discussion. So I appreciate everybody that does listen for listening, because it's definitely helpful to me and for me. And hopefully it's somewhat entertaining and you guys get something out of it, and hell, maybe I'm helping somebody else along the way as well. But yeah, it's weird, and I can definitely feel the weight of things pulling on me with Riley, in the 13 and the 26 coming up. I do have an email I have to answer. Got another email about going to the sentencing for one of the jackasses responsible for the bombing. I have so much to do. I'm not gonna go. I do need to write an impact statement for sure, victim impact statement, but I'm not gonna go present it. And that's a twofold deal. One, I'm busy as hell. I've got to take advantage of the time I can keep working on the cabin. And two, right now, given where I was and where I am now, I'm in a good spot mentally and health-wise and emotionally that I don't want to derail that. Not saying that it would, but I don't know, and I'm not comfortable putting myself in a situation that's gonna upend that. So yeah, at the fair, I got thinking about this yesterday on the drive home. We are dipshits for sure. Sheriff Gross Nichols asked me several times. I see him, every other month or something. Always gives me a hug and asks me how I'm doing, and my answer is always the same: I'm good, man. I'm fine. How are things with you? And John, I'm full of shit, and I wish I would be able to articulate that too and say, hey, appreciate you. And I do. I appreciate him. He'll reach out sometimes in a message just out of the blue. My friend Taylor, the same thing. How are you doing? My answer is always the same: I'm good. Things are good. even when things aren't good, that's the go-to answer. You don't want to talk about it. We're conditioned not, guys are conditioned not to talk about shit. But given John's new endeavor, it kind of pissed me off at myself that I give that answer, because it's not correct, it's not true, it's not factual. So John, if you catch this, Patty, we could talk for a while about a lot of things. So just want you to know I appreciate you, and I'm going to start making an effort to be more forthcoming and honest about how I feel, without making it uncomfortable or without turning it into something stupid. But no, appreciate everybody that does check on me and ask how I'm doing. Eric, and I got a whole group of people that do ask how I'm doing. So yeah, I don't know. Gonna be a weird 16 days. Got 2 weeks. It's not gonna be weird. It's definitely, like I said, I can feel the weight of it, but it's not the same as it has been. Shit, I should do a podcast if I can find time to do one, because I could talk about this for a couple hours. The things I'm thinking, the things I'm going through. There's a guilt, again, that I can feel it creeping in. And again, it's somewhat suppressing some of what I feel, but not really, because I'm doing it differently. So this is all new. I'm in new territory. Wanting to feel everything because of Riley and seeing his picture, and I'm staring at him a little bit longer. And I love that, but then a little bit of guilt for trying to push that away a little bit. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that process, and I'm not sure how to navigate that. I don't want those emotions to consume me, but at the same time, I want to feel every one of them. I owe that to him. His 20 years and 6 months, and all the memories and everything that we have, and the life that he led, and the life that laid out before, was waiting for him. I don't know. Like I said, we're in uncharted territory with this one, in a good way, but in a different way. So we'll see. Yeah, so there's that. Cabin's going well. Never get done as much as I want to. The Snow Pokes, the Sweetwater County Snow Pokes poker run is this next weekend, Saturday the 15th. If you're at all interested, have any inclination, jump on their website, and at Kendall Valley and up to the Strawberry Safety Shelter and Big Loop there, and they're actually going to do the yearly maintenance stuff on the safety shelter. Yeah, you can find them on Facebook, find their website. Great bunch of people, great turnout year after year. A lot of fun. I will not be going this year. Hell, my side-by-sides down in Bondurant. Trailer that I haul it in is full of doors and an armoire and a desk for my girls in the bathroom, my younger girls. I can't wait to get that floor finished and get that put in. Now I'm speaking of finished floors. I got a third coat on the loft floor and it turned out great. Looks fantastic. See, bathroom I got another coat on. Loft I got another coat on. And I got 2 coats done in the kitchen. I'll probably do one more since it's going to be such a high traffic area. Again, I wish I could just clean everything out and do all the floors at one time, but I just don't have that luxury being by myself and trying to cut in and get the floor finished and all that kind of stuff. So doing what I can. Like I said, I got the kitchen or the laundry room cabinets hung, washer and dryer in, laundry room door is hung. Once I get the rest of the bathroom floor finished, I'll get that door hung. Then all the doors downstairs are installed. And yeah, I got a lot of work to do. I'll go down this next time, and before I put the last coat on the kitchen floor, I need to paint the sheetrock in there. I'll get that done. Then get the floor done. Then the next trip down, I'll get the fridge out of storage, take the fridge down. I'll have a full-size fridge. Won't have the ice maker and water dispenser, of course, but it's there, be ready to hook up. As soon as we pressurize things, we're good to go. We'll get into that later because I'm not sure. I keep going back and forth on whether or not I'm going to have the plumber come. I won't be ready till probably mid to late September. Knock on wood. But I don't want to go into winter and cold season and end up with something, oh shit, didn't see this, if there's a leak anywhere or anything like that. Once it snows, it's going to be nearly impossible for a plumber to get in there and take care of anything. So I might end up waiting until spring, make sure everything's done. I've got some things in the crawl space I need to insulate and stuff like that. So we'll see. Anyway, back to the poker run. If you can go. Always a good time, always fun. And like I said, the turnouts have been fantastic. Great bunch of people. Definitely worth spending your Saturday. I'm leaving here this morning, go get my deck material ordered, banded up and ready, and I'll probably pick it up tomorrow and take it down and drop it off. But I'm going to be building decks hopefully all weekend, plus the stuff I have to do inside. But I'm pretty excited to get the decks done. Get the north deck cleaned off, get rid of some of the plywood and crap that's on there right now. I'm going to start making a crap pile that I'm going to end up needing to take to the dump, but get everything consolidated a little bit, but get that deck done. Then at any time all winter, I don't care. I can tent things off and do railing and whatever, but to have both decks finished will be huge. One, it'll just enhance things and look better, but to have that project done and out of the way, and the convenience I've got some big stuff I need to drop onto the deck and get into the house, and trying to navigate it right now. Hell, it's a 3-foot step up in if I move this step that I have. It'll just be good. So I'm building decks and I'm really excited about it. Really looking forward to it. The 2 biggest projects inside for me now is what was my bedroom upstairs. I've got to get that tall wall taken care of. There's nothing on it. We've just got black paper on the wall now. So get the loft floor papered, get the table saw and chop saw moved out there where I can have a cut station again, and then I can take care of that. But I want to wait till crappier days, whatever, when I'm forced to be inside, to do that. So that wall, and then the upstairs bathroom, insulate the ceiling, put the tongue and groove on the ceiling, some sheetrock in there that needs to be mudded and painted. All the trim and stuff like that I'll do this winter, but need to get that closed off and insulated. I plastic that whole room off this last winter because you could feel the cold air just blasting through there. So, and then I have a couple big projects outside on the roof that I've talked about repeatedly. I got one dormer I need to finish. Hell, you can still kind of see outside, and pretty hard to heat the house when it's all going outside. But get that one wrapped and get the tobacco barnwood put on there. Window trimmed on the outside, get that taken care of. A couple pieces of metal that I need to get taken care of. Ridge cap put on, then I can get the shed roof over the porch, get the metal on there, and I can be done climbing up on the roof. So that will be fantastic too. And yeah, once I get the north deck done, I can set scaffolding up there, get the soffits taken care of. There's so much I can do and get done. This weekend will be big, getting the decks done. Get the north one finished for sure, and when I get the south one built, hell, we're looking good. So that's that part of life and that part of me. And again, cheers, Riley. Definitely thinking a little extra hard and deeper as we go forward these next 2 weeks. I need to make a video for Bo too. Yeah, the hikes that they're doing for all the kids. I should have pulled that up so I could give you when each kid's hike is. Riley's is the 20th. I believe that's next Thursday. Yeah. But across the country, there are so many people that have pinned their place on the map and said, yep, we're walking here. We're going to do it here. And several people, local people here, have reached out and said, yep, we're walking. And whether they've told me or I've seen Facebook posts, so much appreciation. That is fantastic. Still can't believe, looking at his picture and stuff, there's no way that this is real life. There's no way. I don't know. It's crazy. So, on that note, let's jump into the political thing just a little bit. This might be a long coffee with the kid. Oh, and I'm going to start posting this on Spotify. Royce asked me while she was here the other day, can you please start posting your coffee with the kids on Spotify? I can't listen to them on Facebook. She's always busy, got her headset on or whatever. And she's like, I'll pull it up and start listening to it on Facebook or something, and then I need to look something up, and as soon as I do, it kicks her off. And Spotify, she can listen to the whole thing even if she's doing other stuff. So didn't even realize I could without using the platform that I do for my podcast. I didn't realize I could put these on Spotify. So this one will be on Spotify. Wicked Wisdom Wednesday. Just go on there and I'll have it titled, the date and coffee with the kid. And hell, if you have nothing better to do or you like Royce and just need some noise, background noise to listen to, go listen to some of my old podcasts and see how things have evolved. I got a dog out there barking like crazy. Hold on, I gotta go get him. Zip, you're noisy. Come on. You're noisy. Is there another dog out there barking at you? Right here, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. He's trying to beat up Zeus, and there's two other dogs out there barking. Hi, buddy. Zeus and Zip did really well on the hike. Zeus is getting better, but each hike still, he gets back and he's pretty tender, but not as bad as he was. So I think the pain meds and anti-inflammatories I've been giving him, the fish oil, the eggs, I think all that stuff is working. Definitely makes him a little mellow when we get back. Watch out, buddy. And it can't help him that we go on that hike and then jump right in the vehicle and they just lay in the back of the truck all the way home. Back seat of the truck. On the political thing, had somebody reach out yesterday in talking about a couple of the candidates and basically told me who she's voting for, and I concur. I agree 100%. I didn't say that in the messages yesterday. And then several people have had questions. A lot of things going on locally. Well, the state race is ramping up too, but locally there's a lot of things that have been said, and some of them are not, some candidates are not being intentionally wrong, and others are just outright saying outlandish shit, using the fear tactic and whatever, and trying to get people to vote on emotion. And I get it. It's a way to campaign. I don't agree with it. No, Rock Springs isn't going to become a communist, municipality or city. Wyoming is not going to, no, it just isn't happening. It's not going to happen. The mayor is not a communist. I don't know. That just, it irks me that is even part of the conversation. Those aren't policies. So here's the notes that I wrote down. You're okay, buddy. Commissioner raises goats and property taxes. Property taxes does encompass the entire state. Commissioner raises. This is more in defense of some of my friends and hopefully some clarity for another friend of mine who's campaigning this season, and for the people who have asked me, because it's like, I don't understand this. Is it, or did they, or didn't they? No, they did. The commissioners in Rock Springs, the Sweetwater County commissioners, did not give themselves raises. It is illegal to do so. You can't do it by statute. It is illegal. They did not give themselves raises. The raises that they approved, I believe in May, will affect the candidates that are sworn in 2027. The candidates that didn't run this year, they run in 2 years, they don't get to see that money. We've got two candidates, two current commissioners that are running for re-election right now. If those two candidates are successful, they will see that pay increase. The rest of them won't. And there's one seat where the commissioner is not running, so his seat is open. There are two candidates running for that seat. If either one of them is going to win, they will see that pay increase. That's it. 2028, whoever wins that election cycle will be afforded this pay increase. Then whoever the commissioners are in 4 years, basically, will revisit this again. You revisit it every 4 years. It's the duty of the commissioners to see if, raises and all that. Now here's the bigger point to that, and the one that nobody understands and nobody's sharing, but it's really important. The commissioners are basically running a business. All the things they do, you're managing a business. They have not approved raises in 12 years. Had they not approved raises this year, it would then be 16 years since raises were approved for county commissioners. Now you think about who you work for or any company that you know. If you went 12 years or 16 years without a pay raise, that is a pretty shitty employer. And you're going to have some disgruntled and upset employees. It's going to be hard to get employees to put forth any extra effort or whatever if you're treated that poorly. I'm going to say that again. There have not been raises for the commissioners in 12 years. Had they not done and made that hard decision, even with budget constraints, to approve raises, and they didn't just say, hey, we want more money, boom. They looked at all commissioners across the state of Wyoming, who's getting paid what, where it is, where those salaries sit, and they made a recommendation and adjustment and approval of that. They're not the highest paid commissioners by far. There are not only 2 counties that pay their commissioners more than Sweetwater County coming up in 2027 after the approval. There were 5 or 6 counties that pay more than Sweetwater County. It would pay more or will be equal once this takes effect in 2027. And it's not that much money. And yeah, public service and all that. Now, a lot of people do not comprehend what the county commissioners do. It is a thoughtless and thankless job. The amount of time and hours that they put in. The RMP plan from the BLM, for example. You like to go side-by-side riding, you like to go up and see the wild horses, you like to take advantage of this wide open space that we have on BLM lands, which are public lands, but the BLM was trying to handicap all of that, including industry, the oil and gas and drone industry. The commissioners we have sitting in office right now have worked their asses off, not just in Sweetwater County, but statewide and nationally, making the right connections, having the conversations, going to meetings with the heads of the BLM, our state representatives, to ensure that the BLM does not get to do what they wanted to do. Your freedoms to use and access the lands around Rock Springs and Green River in Sweetwater County were threatened to be absolutely trampled on. You need to say thank you to the commissioners for that. And they're still working on it. It's not done yet. They're still working on it, but it seems to be going in a much more positive direction because of the work that these commissioners have done. Look into it, man. These aren't just faces that somebody can throw darts at and good guy, bad guy. These are people who are putting in the work behind the scenes every day, making the phone calls, doing the emails, doing the research, talking to the people that they need to talk to for the citizens of Sweetwater County. There's a lot of work involved. It is not just simply doing a good deed and you're done at the end of the day. And they all have other jobs. This isn't just a pastime, nothing else to do. They all work, own businesses, whatever you have, and do this job also. And the pay, they get paid $36,000 a year currently. That's That's not a livable wage by any stretch of the imagination. It just bumped up to $45,000, as I explained, starting in 2027 for the newly elected commissioners, and then whoever is newly elected in 2028, 2029, when they're sworn in, the raise will go to them. It is a big county. There are a lot of things that they do in this county, for this county. Having to budget for the entire county, which the budget is another thing that things are not entirely factual on some of the stuff. And let me just hit on that real quick. A lot of the things, funding was not cut. It keeps getting thrown out there. They gave raises and they cut funding to all these programs. No, they did approve the raises. My thoughts are you pretty much had to. You've gone 12 years without approving any raises. And these commissioners weren't in at the time. So they're doing their duty. They're doing their job as laid out and required by state statute. It would have been, if they had not approved them, it would then be 16 years since there was any pay increase. The job doesn't get smaller. The job is actually getting bigger. The BLM was huge. The RMP, that alone, you should say, wow, thank you. Appreciate what you did. You guys deserve to make a little bit more money than you have been. I don't know. It is a thankless job, and for the commissioners who have made these decisions, thank you. Oh, and so raises were given, and all these groups, organizations, entities, their funding was slashed. Funding was cut. In most of the cases, funding was suspended. They're still getting money, you're just not getting an increase in money. And again, you've got to make decisions that are good for the community and the county, and are responsible. I don't know. To say that these commissioners did a horrible job because they approved pay raises, to me, is asinine. There's a lot that goes into that, and they struggled. Do we or don't we? They struggled with, can we fund this? Can't we? There are so many things that go on behind the scenes. The airport, for example, the county was on the hook for millions if during COVID and all the BS and funding in DC getting cut that was supposed to help with that. Had things not worked out the way that they did, the county was on the hook for a substantial amount of money. So there's a lot going into this, rather than they just cut some stuff here and they gave themselves raises and this is irresponsible. That is just not the story. There is so much to it. Look at your jobs. There's so much that you do that the rest of the world doesn't see that is important. It's important to you. It's important to your family. And you're doing the best job you can. Sometimes you've got to make tough decisions. Any job where, okay, this year funding's a little tight. We've got to cut some of this. We've got to slow this down. We just can't do that this year. Some of the entities that have been funded by the county have enough money in their reserve to run an entire year without taking any county money. They're good. They can sustain themselves for another year on the money that they have. Well, then do it. Yeah, the county's got to tighten its belt. You guys need to tighten your belt. See where you can save some money, but you've got the money to do it. And it's like your sister has the money to pay her bills for the rest of the year, but she's hitting you up for money to take a vacation. She wants extra. She doesn't want to spend her money. She wants you to give her money. It just doesn't make sense. It's asinine. There's so much more to it than just they gave raises and they cut funding. No, it's not exactly how it happens. Anyway, as for the goats, Max and the city council have been getting just hammered on the goats. $200,000 for goats. $200,000 for goats. This thing's been going on forever with Bitter Creek, and Dead Horse Canyon, I think, is the other deal. Clear back 1924, I believe, when there was a flood and the railroad diverted some water and waterways and that sort of thing, which created the mess that we have now. There's a plan in place. It's been in place. It's been going. They're moving forward with it. There's 4 different phases. Where the animal shelter is right now, I believe, is phase 2. I can't remember. It's been approved. I want to say $3.8 million grant money allotted to take care of that. So it's shovel ready to go. You've got 4 different phases of this that need to be taken care of. The city is required and responsible to take care of the floodplains. The goats were, and they're again, you get environmentalists and the EPA and all kinds of things. There's certain things you can do, certain things you cannot do. Chemicals you can use, chemicals you cannot do. Manpower is out of the equation. It would cost way more than the goats, and the $200,000 was not $200,000 this year. And remember, the goats were here last year, and I think the year before that. No, it was like $50,000 each time the goats have come. So that would be 4 times the goats have come, do what they do. They do an amazing job rather quickly and very efficiently. And no singular candidate ramrodded this and had his way, and this is why we got rid of the goats. No, funding got rid of the goats. They had to make a decision. We're still required to take care of the floodplain, but budget constraints, the city had to make a decision. The cemetery lighting needs to be addressed and taken care of. Light poles and stuff are starting to become a hazard, a potential hazard of injury and whatever. The goat project was suspended so that this can be addressed and taken care of. Pretty simple. Are we going to mow our 5-acre lot, or are we going to fix a fence this year? We've been able to do both, and we've been, a little bit here, a little bit there. We're taking care of this. Well, this year we can only do one. We're going to take care of the fence. We're going to ensure the safety of our animals and our neighbors and the community and everything else by getting this fenced off. We'll take care of the other thing. Hopefully we have more money next year. I don't know, that's a stupid analogy, but enough of the goats. And the only alternative I've heard is sue the mining company. Sue the mining, what the hell is it called? Abandoned mine land. Okay, so you sue them. What's your lawsuit? What are you going to get out of it? You might get some money out of it. You might get some funding for it. You might get somebody else to have to take care of something. Litigation's going to take you 5 to 10 years. What are you going to do in the meantime? Just let it go? Let it go to shit? Let the fence fall down and your animals run? And to piss and moan and bitch about something is one thing, but to offer absolutely no solutions, no direction, nothing else, just point fingers and boy, these guys are horrible. It's pathetic. I, all for one, get the goats. Somebody else posted a question on Facebook. How do they know how many tons they ate? And I asked the question myself. It's all right. What is the calculation? There's got to be a scientific, calculation equation somewhere here where you guys figure this out. They take what a goat eats on average, those goats, size, whatever, how many pounds of stuff they eat on average per day, how many days they were there. You can estimate fairly accurately they consumed this many tons of crap out of Bitter Creek. Makes sense. I'm good with that. It's still got to be done. The job's got to be done. Come up with a better solution. Anybody, come up with a better solution. Say, hey, here it is. You want to make your fortune and make your mark in Sweetwater County, come up with solutions and present it to the city councils and the mayor. Say, hey, let's try this. If it's all approved, EPA approves it, the feds approve it and everything else, fantastic. You just did something amazing. Nobody's done it. Nobody's doing it. They're just pissing and moaning that you spent some money on goats. The flood, I think it was July 28th of 2021, had a price tag of $1.5 million that did not include personal vehicles and all that kind of stuff. I know, just being here the short time I know 2 people who had severe flood damage from that flood in their homes. So you got a $1.5 million price tag in 2021. Well, cost of everything for you functioning on a day-to-day basis has gone up. Pretty simple jump to say, well, that 1.5 would probably be 5-6 million today. The price tag on a similar flood just like happened in 2021. Just saw it happen a month ago in Thermopolis. Boom, skies opened up, 4 inches of rain in an hour and flooded the hell out of things. It can happen here any day. In fact, we've got the weather right now for like the next week, high potential for, afternoon showers and things like that. All it takes is one. Hell, Cheyenne got one, I can't remember what year it was, not too long ago. It just flat opened up and water everywhere. So we're not immune from it. You got to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, it's going to be catastrophic, especially businesses and homes down along that floodplain. I don't know. Again, $50,000. It sounds like a lot to a lot of us, but it's money well spent to try to eliminate something catastrophic from happening when you can do something about it. Now, I can't remember podcasts or one of these. You do maintenance on your car. You do maintenance on your house. You do maintenance on yourself with your doctor, for crying out loud, to preventable measures that you do so that it is not so catastrophic down the road. It is not so expensive to take care of it down the road. You fix the little thing now, it costs you a little bit of money, but you just saved a ton. Again, vehicle, house, health, they're doing the same thing. They're maintaining and doing some preventative measures on things that need taken care of to avoid something catastrophic from happening. It's about as simple as that can get. And again, if you got a better solution, go to a city council meeting and say, hey, I would like to propose this. If you don't want to do that, reach out to somebody and say, hey, have you guys thought about trying this? This might be a remedy. I've researched this. I've got this. Again, that might be the invention that makes you your millions, for crying out loud. Come up with something other than pissing and moaning and bitching. A lawsuit is not an action. again, 5, 10 years, appeals, you get nowhere, and it's going to cost you a shit ton of money in attorneys. I would venture to guess, hell, I spent over $50,000 in the last 3 years on attorneys for something minuscule compared to this. I don't know. Just irritates me. It makes no sense. Have arguments, have debates, have discussions, but just the rhetoric and the bullshit is just pathetic. I don't know. I get all excited about this one. And then let's jump into property taxes. There is going to be an initiative on the ballot this year where voters can decide if you want 50% reduction in property taxes. That sounds great. Yeah, 50%. Till you think about what that money does, where that money goes, and how in the hell are you going to replace that money? K through 12 schools get roughly, God, if I remember correctly, it's like 70% of that money. You're going to cut, everybody's pissing and moaning and bitching about budgets. You approve property tax reduction up to 50% property tax reduction. You just took 50% of the money from K through 12 schools. You just took money from roads, bridges, police, fire, all of that. And property tax differs from sales tax in this manner. Property taxes, by and large, stay in the community. Sweetwater County property taxes stay in Sweetwater County. They don't. That money doesn't go to the general fund. Your sales tax goes. It doesn't stay here. It goes, and then it gets divvied up. So Rock Springs sales tax could be going to Jackson, could be going to Gillette, could be going to Sundance, could be going to Laramie. It gets divvied out. There's formulas and stuff that they use to do this. But property taxes stay in the county. What you're going to end up with is a state sales tax. That's one of the big draws to Wyoming is we don't have a state income tax. We don't have a state income tax. If you approve a 50% reduction in property taxes and take all of that money away from all of these things that it currently takes care of, you've got to replace the money somehow. There's been arguments, well, the state's got the reserve, the state's got this, the state's got that. Think of your own checking account. Okay, you've got and savings account. You've got money in reserve. Things are looking good. You're feeling good. Life is just going. Something happens and you have to dip into your savings. All of a sudden, you don't have savings. You don't have any money anymore. And if it was something big, now you're struggling just to make ends meet and put the pieces of the puzzle together. Again, that's about as simple as I can explain this. You take that much money away from schools, fire, police, roads, bridges, all of that stuff. It's just a bad idea. And nobody can convince me right now otherwise. I've read nothing, heard nothing. It sounds great. Yeah, property taxes have gotten a little ridiculous, especially where I come from. Teton County, Lincoln County's catching up. Sublette County's catching up. I think Sheridan County's pretty high. And I get it. Jackson's was asinine. The taxes I pay on the cabin are almost triple what I pay here. The property in Sublette County, I pay almost triple in property tax that I do in Sweetwater County. And even at that, You pay insurance, for crying out loud. You can budget for it. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's a little harder, but I don't know, where that money goes and what it does, you can't take it away. I'm gonna piss and moan about commissioners cutting funding for X, Y, and Z because they have a deficit in the money that they need to come in to the county. Well, what the hell's the state gonna do, for crying out loud? It's the same freaking thing. You're taking away the money, they're gonna have to make some decisions. And who's gonna suffer? You and I. It's going to affect everyone. Here's another thing. And if you don't own a home, really think about this. It's going to affect your kids going to school. You're not going to see any savings on anything. Your neighbors or boss or whatever, they might get a break on their property tax. You're not going to see that break. If anything, you're going to see increases in fees for schools, things you need to do for your kids and things of that nature, because the schools aren't going to have the money. I don't know. It's and I know I've got friends on the other side of the aisle. Absolutely, 50%, cut it. I disagree until something is laid out, structured, all I's dotted and T's crossed. This money that we're taking away is going to be replenished by doing X, Y, and Z. Then maybe I could get on board. But right now there is none. Just cut, cut, cut. And this is one of my issues with the Freedom Caucus, is they want to do all these grand things, but there is no planning for how they're going to do all these grand things, and it's going to bite us in the ass. Nope, I'm not on board with this one. I'd love them to eliminate property tax altogether. I think it's asinine that you buy a house, you own something, but you don't really own it. You're paying the government rent to have what you bought. That irks me and pisses me off, and I think it's just a horrible idea. But right now, it's the way we fund a lot of things until we can figure something else out. It is what it is. And I'm not saying everybody sit back and do nothing and just pay your taxes and be a good boy and shut up. But until something else another idea is presented, another solution is presented, you just can't strip the funding like that so quickly. And there are a lot of small municipalities and stuff within a lot of counties. There are 23 counties across the state, and there are some that are fairly small as far as population and stuff goes. Property values aren't that high. How are those counties going to fund their schools and their roads and their bridges and the things that they need to take care of when they don't have a large income coming in already, and then you cut that even more? It's going to hurt. That's a hurt that a lot of people are going to feel really quick if this thing gets approved. So anyway, so the commissioners did not give themselves pay raises. I'm going to say this again. I think those positions should be a salaried position where you can actually make a living if you choose to run for office, and that would get more of the common man running. with great, a lot of people have great ideas, but simply can't afford to run for office because it's not a wage that you can live on by any means. And all the work that they do, every commissioner that we've got right now has eaten through that and then some, with all the things that they do for the county, especially with the RMP, the amount of time and dedication that took. But no, they did not give themselves raises. That is illegal. In most cases, they did not cut funding. They just didn't give additional funding. The goats on Bitter Creek are somewhat of a necessity until somebody comes up with a better idea, a better solution. It's all great when the sun's shining and you get no rain, but all it takes is one storm to drop 3, 4, 5 inches of rain, which already has happened here on multiple occasions. 1924, I want to say there was another one somewhere in the 50s or 60s, and then this big one in 2021. Something that definitely needs to be taken care of and addressed. And then the property tax issue that's coming up on a ballot in November. Man, do some research, look into it. If you've got something different, share it my way, because I want to know more. I want to see how this is supposed to work without just saying, yeah, cut taxes, cut taxes. Well, you cut taxes, somebody's going to pay somewhere. The education system, which is already needing some work, it's going to hurt. There's going to be a pinch, and everybody's for the kids, everybody's for the elderly, everybody's for all these, programs and things that we need in a community. I'm for them. But when you vote for something like this and absolutely strip the funding, I like good roads and bridges, and Sweetwater County has a lot of county roads that are maintained by the county. All the things that you like to enjoy now and do, and you drive on or whatever without giving it a second thought, those things are going to be affected with some of the decisions that are going to be made, some of the votes that you're going to cast. So how badly do you want to disrupt the life that you know right now? Change is good. Sometimes change is needed. Sometimes leaving well enough alone is pretty good until you can come up with a better idea. Or, you know what? Some of these people are actually doing a pretty damn good job. Anyway, I'll leave it with that. Cheers. Take care.